So we've got the bad list out the way. Now let's get into the good stuff, the matches of the year. This is the best part. Best part of the year, matches of the year, and we're starting off with a damn hot list. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about the top 10 best Progress Wrestling matches of 2024. We are starting off here, we are going with one of the hottest promotions in the UK right now, and I'm going to talk about the best wrestling that they've put on. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of Progress. I've been to a lot of Progress shows, and I want to talk about the best matches that they've put on all year. But before we dive into that, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below, and I'll try and apply to every single one of them as we dive into this. So 2024 for Progress Wrestling has been really good. I have loved the majority of the output that they have had, from Spike Trivet and Kid Lykos' story at the beginning of the year, through Super Strong Style, into Luke Jacobs' reign, and the endless reign of Rhio as Progress Women's Champion. It has been a really fun year. There's been a lot of great matches, a lot of surprises, and I think one of the strongest years of British wrestling in general. But narrowing this list down was hard. Narrowing it down to 10, that's difficult because there's been a lot of matches. There have been funny matches, there have been 5-star matches, there have been hardcore matches. There's been a lot of stuff going on in Progress, and narrowing the list down to just 10, that was a hard task. So honourable mention that I do want to get out there, Ricky Knight versus Trent Seven just missed the cut for this list, unfortunately. That is one of my favourite matches of the year. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. But we need to dive into the top 10, starting with number 10. At number 10, we have Gene Money and Will Cruz versus Sunshine Machine from Werewolves of London. Now, if you've watched my review for Werewolves of London, you'll know that I was in hysterics watching this match. I think it was so funny. Sunshine Machine coming out as Batman and Robin, one of the highlights of Progress this year. It was so unbelievably funny. The match was really, really good. You got to establish the Gene Money family a little bit more. You got to establish sort of a little bit of dissent within Sunshine Machine. This had everything you could want, and if you're a Batman fan, it just gets elevated that little bit more thanks to the commentary, thanks to the crowd chants. This is one of the most fun tag team matches you could probably see all year. Coming in at number 9 from Super Strong Style 16, we have Kanji versus Lizzy Evo versus Nina Samuels versus Rhio for the Progress Women's Championship in a ladder match. Now, Rhio, we'll get to Rhio in just a little bit. She has another match appearing on this list, but Rhio this year has really been a staple and a standout of British wrestling. She has been unmatched. Like literally unmatched in terms of what she's putting out there in this Progress Women's Championship reign. It's one of the best title reigns in any company. And leading into Super Strong Style, you had these bubbling feuds. You had Nina Samuels and Kanji, and you had Lizzy Evo and Rhio, and all that colliding in an anarchic, grueling, tough ladder match. It worked really, really well. You had some nasty spots in here, like an insane ladder bump from Nina Samuels where she landed like back first on the ladder. And yeah, I just loved the way the stories were interwoven in this match and the way the characters really worked. I think it was an awesome four-way. It's probably the best ladder match of the year. I can't think of a ladder match that's better than this, and sort of there probably is like loads of other ladder matches in other companies. But in terms of ladder matches that I've seen, WWE, AEW, ROH, all of them, this is probably the best ladder match of the year. I think it's a fantastic four-way ladder match. Next up we have Luke Jacobs versus Kid Lykos at Wrestling Never Sleeps. This was the all-in show. This was the rematch after Luke Jacobs destroyed Kid Lykos for the Progress World Championship. We got Luke Jacobs defending that title again against Kid Lykos. And what I loved about this match, and what I love about both Lykos and Luke Jacobs as wrestlers, they gave you hope. they gave you hope that there was a chance Lykos could win this, because I think a lot of people went into it thinking Lykos isn't going to win, but through determination and sort of playing on the previous match, it really worked, and it really got you invested in the underdog of Lykos going against Luke Jacobs, who's an absolute machine. It worked really, really well. I think it was better than their first match. I think it's one of the best matches of Luke Jacobs' reign, and he's had a lot of good ones. He's had a lot of damn good ones in his title reign. But this really, really worked for me. And yeah, seeing it there live was awesome. I love the post-match as well. After that was also really good. Yeah, this was really, really awesome. Okay, so we are in a little bit of a Luke Jacobs cluster now, because you're going to get a lot of Luke Jacobs now. But this is one of the most underrated matches of the year, and it's Luke Jacobs versus Masato Tanaka from Diamond Dust. I bet you probably forgot that match happened, and you shouldn't, because it is awesome. It is so hard hitting and so brutal. They turn it into a no DQ step, and they just destroyed each other. I'd never seen anything from Masato Tanaka prior to this, but pairing him with Luke Jacobs and having them have this bloody hardcore match, it showed a different side of Luke. It got Masato Tanaka like exposure, because I don't think a lot of people, he's like ECW legend Masato Tanaka. Not a lot of people maybe in the UK know of Masato Tanaka, but getting him in front of that crowd and getting him in there with Luke Jacobs, they put on a really, really awesome match, and I think it is highly underrated and one you should definitely go and check out if you've not already this year. Coming in at number 6, we have another Luke Jacobs match. Luke Jacobs versus Ricky Knight Jr. from Super Strong Style 16, the final of the tournament. Now, after seeing that Atlas Championship match, I think we all knew that these two had great chemistry and they really knew how to work with each other. This match was that to like the top level. This was like you are watching two of the future main eventers around the world wrestling in progress. This felt big time. You had insane kickouts, insane near falls, insane spots. This was exactly what a Super Strong Style 16 final should be, with the right winner Luke Jacobs picking up the win. This was like an awesome, hard-hitting, destructive kaiju fight, and I loved every second of it. It was an absolutely amazing match, and it goes to show that's how you do tournament finals, people. Super Strong Style 16, one of the best tournament finals in all of wrestling. Coming in at number 5, we have Rhio defending the Progress Women's Championship against Lizzy Evo at Werewolves of London. This was amazing. This was an awesome hardcore match, and I think it shows in the crowd reaction at the end. This deserved the main event. It got the main event, and getting that time, getting to do these crazy, crazy spots, these crazy hardcore spots, it was a perfect end to the feud between Lizzy Evo and Rhio, and that showed at the end. I think the standing ovation that these two women got really showed that they earned this, they worked for it, and they did not put a foot wrong in this match. This was one of the best just wrestling matches in general, and one of the best feud enders of the year. I was so unbelievably impressed with this. This is probably the match on this list that I wish I was there live for. I really wish I'd have got to see this match live, but unfortunately I did not. But it was just as good watching it on the TV. This is a fantastic hardcore match, and one you should definitely go out of your way to see. Coming in at number 5, we have the tag team match between the Young Guns and Boisterous Behaviour from Young and Invincible. Stay Young and Invincible, should I say, in Manchester. Now, I was here for this one, and let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a little story. I saw this live because it was in Manchester, and I was like, this main event's going to be awesome. This main event is going to be awesome. And my partner is, I'm not going to say a Luke Jacobs hater, but she's not overly keen on Luke Jacobs, and I don't understand that. Like, we disagree on things. That's probably the thing we disagree on the most. And she turned to me at the end. She doesn't really like wrestling. She turned to me at the end of this, and I looked at her and I was like, that was an absolute banger, wasn't it? And she was like, to be fair, it was. And I was like, yes! I was right. This match is goddamn awesome. This is probably the best tag team match of the year. I absolutely love it from top to bottom. It went long. It went insane. You had crowd brawls, you had near falls, and then you had Leon Slater picking up the win, pinning Luke Jacobs in the middle of that ring. It was euphoric. It was absolutely awesome. My favourite tag team match of the year, and I really, really can't wait to see where this Boisterous Behaviour Young Gun story goes, where Luke's reign goes. It is just absolutely amazing. This match was so unbelievably good. Coming in at number 3, we have a match that is sadly not talked about enough. I think because there's been so much good British wrestling going on, you had the perfect feud ender with Spike Trivet taking on Kid Lykos at Twisted Metal. This was a cage match. This was the end of the Spike Trivet Lykos saga. Lykos had lost his mask, and then coming into this steel cage with another chance to capture the Progress Men's World Championship, and it was awesome. This was the equivalent of Cody finishing his story, but this was better. This was exactly how it should have been done. You had the babyface win, Lykos beating Spike Trivet, all his friends coming in, celebrating with him. It was absolutely fantastic. It was a perfect send-off if Spike Trivet's gone for a while. Perfect send-off to Spike, establishing the stipulation of the steel cage, which is Spike Trivet's in my opinion, because obviously he had the Cara Noir match and now he's had this one, and setting up a amazing new champion in Kid Lykos and getting that insane babyface win. That is just how you do it. That is how you book babyfaces, and I don't think anything was done incorrectly to get Lykos to where he was at the time of this steel cage match. This was euphoric, just crowd pleasing, brutal at times. I might have to go and rewatch this one when I finish doing this video. I think that's my plan for the evening. I think I'm going to put this one on, and you should too, because it's one of the best matches of the year. Coming in at number 2, just missing out on the top spot. This was an absolute banger. Luke Jacobs versus Leon Slater from Vendetta 2. Both of these men have had incredible years in 2024. Leon Slater doing all this stuff with TNA, North Wrestling. He's just absolutely killing it. He literally, as we speak, may be having an Iron Man match with Zazuya in Rev Pro. Luke Jacobs could very well be having a match with Michael Oku at the time of recording as well. They have both absolutely killed it up and down the UK and beyond. And this match, built on everything established from their tag match at Stay Young and Invincible, and added to it with Luke just not being able to put away Leon Slater. He just can't do it. He hit him with absolutely everything. Then you got the near falls at the end, the false finishes, everything just kept building and kept building. This was an example of a long match that really earned going long, because each kick out was more impactful and made you believe that Leon Slater could be the one to beat Luke Jacobs. It was amazingly well put together, really well told story. Luke retaining, it just worked phenomenally. It was absolutely jaw-dropping. It was an incredible match, like genuinely incredible, and I can't wait to see where this story goes. This is going to be fantastic. This is another match you should definitely go out of your way to check out. And at number 1, my favourite Progress match of the year. It has to be Cara Noir versus Charlie Evans from Stay Young and Invincible in Manchester. This was a match that I didn't know much about Charlie Evans going into it. I obviously love Cara Noir. He's one of my favourite wrestlers in the world. Going into it, I was like, okay, this is going to be really, really interesting. But what I got was one of the best stories told through a pro wrestling match that I've seen maybe ever. This sort of redefined intergender wrestling for me, because it's something that I've not really been exposed to. But having a really well told story of equals. These two were equals in this match. They didn't put a single foot wrong. Everything was awesome. Everything built. Charlie Evans going after the injured foot of Cara Noir. Cara Noir treating Charlie Evans like an equal and not pulling back on his punches, on his strikes. It all worked so well, leading to some great near falls and finishes at the end when Charlie Evans locks in the ankle lock on Cara Noir and he manages to roll her through into a package pile driver. One of the coolest finishes of the year. I think this was exceptional. One of the best pro wrestling matches of the year. Not just intergender, not just men, not just women. One of the best pro wrestling matches of the year, and it is my number one favourite Progress match of 2024. And I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What is your favourite Progress match of the year? Let me know and I'll try to apply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.